Thank you all so much for listening to Meaningless, the podcast where we attack internet nonsense or sometimes just really vague things, that maybe need more context. And we kind of explore it, do some research, and we talk about it and make fun of literally everything. Well, there are some points where it's difficult for me to make a joke about something,
Well, yeah, some of it gets a little too dark.
Yeah,
too
and I thought
disturbing.
we've had enough darkness lately.
Oh, we got something silly.
We do.
All right, I like silly.
Bobby.
Yo.
Bobcat. Miss Bobtail.
All right.
We're going to have a completely innocent, definitely doesn't dive into messed up places episode of the internet spirit animal, cats.
Okay.
That's right, we're having a wholesome episode about kittens.
Yay.
Yeah. And if you've ever listened to this podcast, you know it's nothing but wholesome. And we definitely didn't uncover anything in the net web that maybe wasn't so wholesome.
All right.
Bobby, I have a meme for you to look at.
Okay.
I would like you to explain it to our listeners.
All right, let's see it. Just these damned expressions people are making. I have a terrible time. I don't even know what the hell it is. Anyway, at the top it says, when your cat falls asleep on its back. And this person looks like they're about to go up and rub the kitty's belly, maybe.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that. I've lost some blood doing that. Oh, look at the kitty. Ah!
It's almost roulette when that happens. So. But the internet and even the real world are filled with monstrous things. In fact, Jon Stewart knows that in New York, the corner of 8th Street and 5th Avenue is where cats go to have sex with dogs.
What?
Now, obviously, Jon Stewart was telling a joke.
Okay.
At least I hope so.
Those poor cats. Well, I mean, it depends on the dog, I guess.
Or who the top is.
Yeah. It could be the poor dog. I've seen some pretty scary cats.
Hey, what kind of cats we talking here? Like bobcats?
Puma.
Pumas? Those dogs are fucked, literally. But those are animals. And on this show, we like to talk about humans. Mm-hmm. Actually, we hate it. That's why we did an awesome episode on Doge and had an absolutely delightful time because humans are terrible people and the change felt nice. Mm-hmm. Seriously, if you need something uplifting and positive, I highly recommend that episode. Or this one, because it doesn't go to weirdly dark places at all. It's about cats.
Not sure I believe you.
Well, who doesn't love cats? I mean...
Oh, lots of people.
Some of us, yeah, and some of us may love cats a little more than others, but the reason why the internet is essentially a cat cafe with porn is because cats are just fantastic. And addressing this meme, when you see a cat lying on its back, who doesn't want to smile like the guy in the meme and rub its little belly with your hand? Rub its belly with your hand. So anyway, on this pod, we like to go over the person pictured. And in this meme, there's a person pictured. And it's just some rando named Shane Dawson. Never heard of him. Mm-mm. That's probably because, checking YouTube, his main account has nothing more than 19 million subscribers. And according to Business Insider and Life and Style in 2019 and 2020, respectively, his worth was a measly $12 million.
Oh, is that all?
Practically nothing. Oh, I see a discrepancy here. According to Business Insider, he had accumulated more than 22 million subscribers. And according to Life and Style, they put the count at a, quote, hefty 23.2 million. Which is weird because none of that matches the 19 million that I saw on YouTube.
Right.
Okay, well, I better check Social Blade. So Social Blade is a website that will keep accurate counts of people's subscribers in real time.
Oh, okay.
Oh my Gottfried. Shane Dogson is losing 1,000 subscribers per... Oh, wait, no, that's not his main channel. Okay, if you search Social Blade for just the name Shane Dawson, you'll find a channel that doesn't have a publicly posted video in the past 7 years. The actual main Shane Dapson channel is gaining a negative 100,000 subscribers a month.
Oof.
Huh. Now, what appears to be a subscriber exodus often turns out to be a subscriber purge. Kind of like when Twitter quietly purged bots or when YouTube purged some of the inactive accounts. And since YouTube got rid of the lightsaber and subsequently any publicly recognizable rating, a good gauge about what's really going on has always been the comment section. So, let's read from Old Reliable. In the past few hours, people have commented. This is on a conspiracy video that he's made.
Okay.
Wait until he finds out the government is poisoning our food. I miss his old friends. I fucking live for this shit. Me watching this while eating McDonald's. It just sounds like a regular comment section. Y'all are forgetting that Project Blue Bleem was just to distract us from the truth that Jesus will come down and take his people. I'm not reading the rest of that. The next comment just reads meow.
Okay.
Oh, that reminds me. Okay, innocent episode about cats, okay? We're here to talk about cats. We aren't going around to our normal dark places. We're just talking about cats. They're all over the internet, and in fact, a researcher for the University of Washington, Rachel E. Moran, had this to say, quote, "Pictures of cute animals and videos of wholesome moments are the bread and butter of social media, and definitely won't run afoul of any algorithmic content moderation detection. People are still using it every day." And that algorithmic content moderation detection part probably means nothing. So let's see what her expertise is in. According to the University of Washington's Information School, Rachel's research explores the role of trust in digital information environments and is particularly concerned with how trust is implicated in the spread of misinformation. No. Okay, how do we keep getting back to this? We just want to talk about cats, Bobby. This is an innocent episode about cats. Cats, okay?
All right.
But I guess Meaningless is just doomed to talk about this stuff. But why is she talking about cute little animals? What do they have to do with misinformation? Turns out her previous quote was in response to the use of cute animal and wholesome videos to create viral posts online and accompany those posts with websites that spread mis and disinformation. Videos like these have been linked to peddling hydroxychloroquine misuse, coronavirus conspiracies, and voter fraud conspiracies. I'm calling this the kitty cat conspiracy. And I'm spelling cat and conspiracy with C's, so don't get any ideas. And one of the biggest contributors is the Epoch Times, a far-right anti-China publication founded by the religious group Falun Gong, who have a vested interest in stoking right-wing fears, such as the idea that there was mass voter fraud. The problem is that when Epoch Times posts articles about proven voter fraud, they point to a study by the far-right think tank known as the Heritage Foundation. In this study, the Heritage Foundation claims to have found 1,500 proven cases of voter fraud. There are a few problems with this. The study covers cases going back as far as 1982, which kind of dilutes the 1,500 number, which is a pretty damn round number, by the way. And many of these cases include alleged mistakes, such as a brother accidentally signing his sister's ballot, and one case that wasn't even voter fraud, the guy was lying to get out of jury duty. His vote was actually valid. Anyway, we're here to talk about kitties, an innocent episode about cats, okay?
Okay.
Just let's get back to the adorable meme with the cat lying on its back, and the Shane Dangson fella just looking real excited, probably to use his hand to rub its belly, I would assume. So let's see what Shane Dotson had to say. On March 17th, 2019, he tweeted, "I didn't fuck my cat. I didn't come on my cat." Jesus Christ! How do we keep ending up in these places?
I didn't fuck my cat. What a great way to start.
This was supposed to be an innocent episode about cats. Oh boy. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Maybe it can still be an innocent episode about cats. All right.
Oh, come on.
Think.
It's not going to be.
I got it.
It's too late.
I got it. No, Bobby, I got it.
All right.
Remember the researcher we talked about who said that people are using cute animals to spread disinformation every day?
Okay. Yeah.
This has got to be one of those things.
Could be.
So, let's see if we can find an origin to this story. I actually have a recording here that might be helpful. This Shaneson fella on an old podcast of his, what he had to say might explain this whole cat situation. Right. And I'm sure, as we've seen in other cases, he said something innocuous and it got turned into something gross because the internet does that.
Yeah, that's true.
It likes to reprocess things that people say and turn it into something ridiculous. So I'm going to play a clip for you.
All right.
No, my dogs would
really
never,
needy guy.
No, the things I've done to my poor animals, they will never love me. I've done terrible things. I used to...
Oh, no. I don't know if you want to go there, Shane. What'd you do?
One time, I laid my cat down on her
Are
back.
you going to get arrested for this?
I don't I don't know. No.
Think about it.
I don't think so.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't penetrate. I laid the cat down on her back, and then I moved her little chicken legs, like, spread open or whatever. And I was like, if I just, like, hump, but, like, on her tummy, like, that's not weird. Like, whatever. And then I humped it, and it kept going, and I came all over the cat.
No, you did not.
It was, like, my first sexual experience.
No
I was also,
way.
like, 19, so it's like,
Wait a minute.
Wait a second. Did you just say you came on a cat?
Guys, I think I have to put money in the meter.
Yeah, right?
Don't hit your head on that.
This was supposed to be an innocent episode about cats. And this guy, Shawson or whoever, has to go and use his cat as a fuzzy fleshlight. To be honest, though, and this is me being real, I don't think he actually did this. I don't think he actually did what he's saying he did. I think he came up with the story for shock value.
Okay. I kind of hope so.
Like a lot of what he did before he came the Shaw Daneson that we're all familiar with. He was frequently using shock value in his, quote, humor, involving things like pedophilia and blackface.
Okay.
So he was always trying to get a rise out of people. He was intentionally being provocative in some way.
Okay.
So this could have been just him being like an internet personality provocateur and trying to get a rise out of people. And because he was desperate for attention. And I get being desperate for attention, but the way he told that story sounded like it really fucking happened.
Yeah, it didn't really sound like he was making it up, yeah.
Yeah. And since his past is kind of checkered with a lot of offensive things that he's done and said, periodically something new is dug up from his past and used against him online. He doesn't make content like that any longer, and his biggest, most recent success is him doing videos on conspiracy theories, which is not blackface, I guess. Lucky for me, I've never said anything offensive. In fact, I've never cussed a fucking swear in my life. I can imagine, however, if crazy things from your past online behavior keep showing up, like, for instance, if someone went on a long, goofy rant about loving Pole or making fun of Jennifer Love Hewitt, or maybe accidentally played some hardcore porn during a live stream, or maybe he would get so drunk that he would start hopping around in a giant Grand Theft Auto 5 display and calling himself Boxman, hypothetically speaking. There might be certain audiences to whom that kind of behavior would not appeal.
Yeah.
And so you may not enjoy it being brought up all the time. Now, if you like to push the boundaries with your humor, that's one thing. But just, say, randomly dropping the N-bomb, not so much. That is probably something that's going to haunt you for some extent. I do find it interesting, however, that these behaviors seem to affect some people more than others. Aaron Hansen, for example, used to use the N-word a lot. And in some instances, not that long ago.
Really?
This game actually came out before the Awesome popped. When did this game come out?
Maybe it was predicting it.
When did this game come
Hey, let's see
out?
what people are saying on the forum.
Are you fucking serious? Oh my god! Oh my god, holy shit! You can just fucking scream the N-word? What?
I was trying to emulate a message board.
Oh my god!
So basically it was on Game Grumps back when JonTron was still on there.
Oh, okay.
And they're playing Animal Crossing, and they go up to like this little like corkboard thing, like with the forum, for the town forum. And Aaron goes, "Let's see what the forum has to say." And he just screams the N-word. And
the actual N-word?
Yeah, the actual N-word.
Right.
And they bleep it out, but like it's obvious that that's what he said, because then JonTron's like losing his mind laughing. He goes, "Did you really just yell the N-word?" But it was like that clip was just Aaron trying to imitate what an online forum would be like,
Okay.
and that was the joke. Like that
Yeah.
was, and
It's kind of funny, but
it's yeah.
I wouldn't have gone for that joke.
Like there are different ways. There's better ways to deliver it too. Like you
Yeah.
could have gone up there and be like, "Oh, let's see what the forum has to say." Oh my, there's a lot of N-words on here. Like that would be it's the same punchline, and you
Yeah.
don't have to yell the N-word.
Right.
So it still makes the point, and it even makes the point more clearly because he had to explain the joke to JonTron afterward.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had just said it in that fashion, you would have gotten the impression that, oh, I guess this is the 4chan billboard, And Not only that, but Susie Burhow is caught saying the N-word during a live stream. But this actually might be more implicating for Aaron than it is for Susie.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play this clip for you.
Okay.
Best thing I've ever done. There's got to be something. Okay. We were.
You dropped someone off who was black. You had to say like 30 times
Oh, yeah.
to get out of your system.
Now, Bobby, I don't know about you, but I don't think I've ever had to get that word out of my system.
No. I've always been a little terrified that I'll accidentally say it for some stupid reason, because that's the kind of thing I do. You'd be like, don't say it, don't say it,
like
don't,
this-
and then it comes out. And
Yeah.
you're like, ah, shit.
It's like you've been told not to say it for so long
Yeah.
that there's like a mechanism in your brain that just makes it come out.
Yeah, it's like somebody telling you not to think about the white elephant or whatever,
Yeah,
pink elephant,
yeah.
whatever it is. But
And,
yeah,
and there it is.
don't say it, and then
I
that's the
always-
first thing you say.
I also get a bit nervous that that's gonna be the moment I have Tourette's.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's the moment
And
my
that's the
Tourette's.
word.
That's the day my Tourette's starts. The worst time like during a job interview or something.
You twitch, you shout it,
yeah.
you're fired. I didn't even have the job yet. You're fired. Get out.
You're at a Black Lives Matter protest. It just kind of. Oh God, no! That's a nightmare.
Yeah, a little
Like
bit.
a nightmare. But
Hopefully you're on the edge of the crowd and you can get the hell out of there real quick.
yeah. No, okay.
Who
So
said that?
get him! It's like pointing at some little girl with my voice. That wasn't me. That was him. Okay, no, all right. So, but the Aaron situation, this could be chalked up to just wanting to throw the word around as a joke,
Yeah.
or feeling the pressure of being unable to say a word, and that's how he dealt with the stress of it. Which really, it shouldn't be that hard just to not say the word.
No.
However, their controversies do not end there. On February 21st, 2010, Susie tweeted, "I'm sorry, but I've had nothing but bad situations with black people all week. Is it just the culture?" Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't sound like a slip up, honestly.
No, not really.
It was not good. Now, I am not trying to demonize these two in any way. The point is, even with all this past behavior, the Game Grumps do not appear to be the center of controversy, whereas for some reason Shane Dawson is. He's steeped in it. Now, I don't think any of these influencers should be canceled over behaviors from the past, but I do fully understand why viewers are leaving in droves when they learn about things like this. It feels like the content creators you've been watching aren't the people they appear to be, which, no shit, but it can put a bad taste in your mouth when you try to rewatch their content. There are creators who I have unsubscribed from, not because of something that was dug up from their past, but because of comments and actions that they're currently taking. I don't want to support content creators who have views or behaviors that I find abhorrent. But I also don't want to demonize someone for eternity because of something stupid they did a decade ago.
Right.
When we inflate the so-called cancel culture mentality, we are opening a window wider than the holes in Ben Shapiro's brain for certain social grifters to reach in and grab another convert. You know, like they're reaching into the fridge for that last cold beer, but not Bud Light, because they were nice to a trans person once. A prime convert example would be Elon Musk, who has openly admitted that he has become a Republican convert because the left was too mean to him. Now, in Musk's case, he deserves to be scrutinized, and he wasn't exactly canceled. He just has skin so thin that if he were to use an acne wash, we would see his skull. But it doesn't have to be a person like Elon Musk, on whom doctors don't even use x-rays because a strong flashlight works just as well. There are
That'd be
grifters.
fun. Do that at parties. Hey guys, watch this.
It'd be a fun party trick, yeah.
You can count the bones in my hand. Look at that.
Put the flashlight in your mouth and
Look, I'm a
Oh, I
jack-o'-lantern. You put it under your chin.
oh, now that sounds fun. Of course, though, in Elon's case, cancel culture or, quote, wokeism is just a straw man to excuse what he knows is going to be a questionable turn in his political habits. He openly complains that the left is being ran by unions, which the left is a proud supporter of unions, and thank Gottfried they are, because with no Labor Party, someone has to be. In fact, a fantastic book by an author named Robin Archer breaks down the political history of the U.S.'s lack of a Labor Party, aptly titled, Why Is There No Labor Party in the United States? It covers many factors, but demonstrates how unions are the primary reason why a Labor Party hasn't been essential in our politics. But leaving that tangent aside, it is true that the Democratic Party is tied with unions. But according to Elon Musk, the left is also ran by... This can't be right. Class action lawyers. Oh, looking at Musky Pants' recent history, his legal battles with both unions and class action lawyers have been a bit of trouble for him lately. So it's not cancel culture or wokeness at all that drove him to start voting right wing. Those things are just his excuse. Similarly, people will use being, quote, canceled as an excuse to act out in other ways, often manifesting in prejudiced behaviors. But sometimes it's not just people exposing themselves for the phobes that they are deep down. According to Fast Company magazine, when influencers find themselves muddled in controversy, like they're the victims of a woke mortar and cancel pestle, they veer toward the right-wing audiences. This isn't so much that the right is more forgiving about certain behaviors, but that most of them just don't care in the first place. And they are desperate for high-profile or even semi-recognizable names to help excuse their prejudices and validate their agendas. Just look at the fact that Rob Schneider is finding comfortable work at the Daily Wire. I'm still surprised that Michael Richards isn't one of their poster boys, but Richards, to his credit, has been keeping a low profile lately. And even though he hasn't had much work after his racist public meltdown, he hasn't really crossed over into the dark side, as far as I know. But there is one small problem here about this, quote, cancel culture. It doesn't fucking exist. And what is being referred to as this supposed cancel culture isn't a new thing. It's just people being held responsible for their behaviors. And if you're already a successful entertainer, it's not hard to own up to that responsibility. Look at PewDiePie, for example. He called somebody a racial slur during a live stream and had a pretty major backlash. He came out and gave a pretty thorough apology, and it sounded respectful, it sounded real. There was none of this, I'm sorry if you were offended nonsense. It felt like a real and sincere apology. It felt personal and understanding as to why what he did was out of line. PewDiePie said the no-no word of all no-no words and still has a phenomenally successful career. Fucking BTS, the biggest and most popular band in the world, followed him on Twitter after those events. He wasn't canceled, and neither is anyone else. But taking responsibilities for your own behavior when you're prone to being indignant can be a difficult step, and it might be easier to blame some cultural problem outside of yourself, essentially absolving yourself from accountability and denying the embarrassing nature of how you've behaved. That's why cancel culture or wokeism strawmen are so appealing. It means you don't have to feel embarrassed or do any work on your end because it's everyone else who is wrong. Metaphorically, the influencer is driving a car, and any level of scrutiny is a black passenger in that car. The tension builds because the driver can be canceled at any moment by the black person. Wokeism and cancel culture beam up over the horizon. It's the drop-off point for the black passenger, an excuse to rid the driver's life of scrutiny. The right-wing atmosphere is that feeling of driving away from the black passenger, leaving him in the rearview mirror and out of earshot. The drivers, they just need to get the N-word out of their system, you see, and the right wing will let them say it, quote, like 30 times. Now, obviously, completely alienating somebody forever because of some distant or even not too distant past behavior can be wrong. That's why so-called cancel culture is an easy target for those who just find it too hard to understand that the world isn't just going to accept any idiotic thing they say. If you're white, for example, you do not know and will never know what it feels like to be black, to have grown up black, to always be treated as black, and to hear the N-word or, Shane Dawson, see people wearing blackface in the 21st century. Also, if you're a comedian who thinks you've been, quote, canceled because your ratings have dropped, maybe it's because you haven't updated your material in years or decades even. Maybe it's because no one finds the concept of being gay funny on just the surface anymore. Or maybe the same fucking stupid trans joke isn't funny after the 9 millionth time from the 1,000th fucking comedian to make it. Or maybe just plain old racism with no point or punchline is not a joke at all. Maybe you should read a little bit about current audiences instead of trying to regurgitate the same tired material you did 20 years ago and complaining about it somehow not landing. If you're an entertainer and you cannot entertain, that is on you, not the audience. Maybe, just maybe, you weren't canceled at all just because you saw some mean tweets. Maybe your world being more interconnected means you're going to have to see some people saying things that the yes men wouldn't normally tell you. You might have to hear discerning voices. I called an absolute piece of shit on the internet the R word in one of my past videos, and I got some pushback about that. I didn't whine and cry about being canceled or not being able to say the word. I just said I'll try to avoid the word in the future, because there are plenty of other words to call dumb fuck, brainless, vacuous, vacant, aimless thought voids. And possibly you're not fucking canceled just because you don't get to host the Oscars or get to be nose deep in the specific celebrity muff you want or eat caviar out of God's ass or whatever. Consequences are not equal to cancel culture, and we're talking about mild fucking consequences. Furthermore, context and intention matter to the general public. They are not NPCs no matter how bad you want to be Earth's main character. And just because you were attached to an underage dead name doesn't make the existence of trans men too woke. It does, however, make you fucking disgusting. But all that being said, if we were to feed into a narrative that there is no way to move forward from past behaviors, we are doing a favor to certain people who are far more insidious than these wannabe victims who, when you break it down, are really just a bunch of whiny snowflakes anyway. There are grifters out there waiting to convert people like Shane Dawson. And if he goes, a good portion of his fan base is likely to go as well. This is how hate and deceit are finding new members. So, if seeing his content gives you a bad feeling after hearing what he has said about his cat, or joking about pedophilia, or wearing blackface, then it is reasonable to stop consuming his content. But people should be encouraged to grow and change and not be cast aside as if the rest of us have never done or said anything stupid. A good reason to say good riddance to Shane Dawson, however, is that he's peddling nonsense conspiracy theories, often with little or no pushback. In his most recent video, he and his brother talk about Project Bluebeam, as if it's a real thing, and not just some nonsense created by a Canadian conspiracy theorist with no evidence whatsoever. And a lot of the grifters looking to convert big names are conspiracy theorists themselves. If Shane Dawson starts to move toward the right to find an audience who's more accepting of his past bullshit behavior, I can promise you Alex Jones will be frothing at the mouth to have him on his show. Shaming people for all eternity for admittedly tasteless and harmful jokes from their past, regardless of their apologies, doesn't turn people good. When the backlash has no end in sight, even decent people will start to embrace bad things. Anyway, cats. So, Bobby, what do you think about our innocent episode about cats?
I think I went a little off the rails there.
Yeah, no, that's what I get for looking up cats.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised I don't know, was that just the first thing you found? Was that the worst?
So there was an entire second half
Okay.
about other really dark cat things, but then it started getting
Too dark?
it got into a territory where there's too much to add to this specific episode. So it would have to be an episode on its own.
Okay.
So we might have a second innocent episode about cats.
Good.
Oh, God. Anyway, thank you all so much for listening. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.